Hi. Hi. Um, so I am Julia. And most of my life I was a Buffalo Carey, so this is very appropriate. So we know where it's Carrie and Mom, and Care Bear, and Carrie K, and Aunt Nan. And these are just some of the names that Carrie has gone by over the years. But she was my best friend. I had given the honor of speaking about her today. And when I first agreed, I thought sharing memories and celebrating her life sounded like it would be a good way to grieve. And then it hit me. This is really devastating. And then it was daunting, because how do you sum up a person's life in just 3 to 10 minutes? You really can't, but I'm going to try. And as I was putting my thoughts and memories together, I realized that I haven't just known Carrie a lifetime, but I've known her family a lifetime. Sandy, Cheryl, Suzanne, and Kim, Carrie was comprised of pieces of you. Everything I'm going to say about Carrie, all the love she gave, the way she lit up a room, her loyalty, her humor, it all started with you. She learned from you, she admired you, and she loved you so very much. Every bit of fun she brought, every accolade she earned, every heart she touched, she did that because you 4 beautiful women showed her how. And then in classic Carrie form, she took it to the next level. Carrie and I have known each other since we were about 6. Well, that's the story we've always told anyway. The story goes is that when the Carnats family moved to 1807 Boulder, I walked down the street, 3 doors away, and knocked on the door to see if they had any kids that I could play with. And that's when Carrie entered my life. Now maybe this story is a little bit of an urban legend, but that's our story and we're sticking to it. She's been such a constant part of my life that it feels like she's always been there. I honestly cannot remember a life without her. We spent our childhood together, summer days, riding our bikes to the pool, working for Roy at the convenience store, eating french fries at Dash and Dine, but we always paid, and marathon games of Monopoly at the Carnats game table. As teenagers, Sandy and Al brought me into the North Wheel family. It was very hard work, long days in the scorching sun that I didn't really mind, and all those hot greenhouses. But it was all good because I was doing it with Carrie. In high school, our friendship circle grew. Donna, Amy, Jody, Tricia, friends across grades and schools. We laughed more than we cried, and we've kept those friendships to this day, expanding it to the late Geneva 8. Thank you, Cheryl and Ray. So if you lived in Chicago in the late 80s or early 90s, you definitely knew the name Jonathan Brandmeier. He was this wild, hilarious radio personality who basically was our entertainment when we drove to high school every morning. A few days before I left for college, Carrie and I decided to go downtown to the Hancock building because I wanted to meet Jonathan Brandmeier. So we got up insanely early, stopped for some orange juice and coffee cake, and took it into the city with us. We ended up sitting in the waiting room at the Loop Studios. For some reason, we thought that they would just escort us in and to sit down and chat with Jonathan Brandmeier. But all of a sudden, he burst out of a door and was like, hey, just came to meet you. And we're like, oh, we brought you orange juice, we brought you coffee cake. And he's like, well, I can't really take food from strangers. And me being kind of a crazy super fan, I'm like, oh my gosh, I would never ever hurt you. And he goes, yeah, he's like, you look okay, but she looks like trouble. College took us down to different paths. I went to Illinois State, and a year later she went to U of I. We were only an hour apart, so we spent times at tri-adult functions, CAMs, and football games. More people entered our lives, Mary, Missy, Kelly, and Janet, to name a few, and our friendship never wavered. After college, Carrie and I packed our backpacks and set off on a 6-week adventure through Europe, 13 countries in total. armed with traveler's checks, phone cards, a Fedora's guide, and a paper map, we were ready to take on the world. Before we left, we sat down to plan our route. First stop, London. Carrie assumed we'd head to Amsterdam. I thought we'd go to Spain. You're not surprised to know we went to Amsterdam. But our mission was simple. We wanted to discover what each country was known for and bring home a souvenir. Diamonds in Amsterdam, Yadros in Spain, blown glass in Venice, and the Greek key in Greece. When I look around my house, I have a tangible scrapbook of Carrie. In Budapest, we spotted a massive statue high on a hill. So you might have thought we, looked at our Fedora's guide, but not this time. Instead, we set off on foot, no trail, no signs, just two girls on an adventure. We literally were using branches to crawl up the side of this, what seemed like a mountain, but it was really just a hill. And when we reached the top, we just had a really hard laugh because this wasn't some hidden gem. It was Liberty Statue, a national monument that on the other side of the hill, there's buses that take you there. Now, our friendship was far from perfect. In Venice, we had our only real fight of our long trip. We were wandering along the canals and lost track of our bags. Now, truth be told, I get lost in a paper bag, so I never know where I am. But Carrie always knew. She was kind of my personal tour guide. And when she turned to me in frustration and declared that we were lost, I just said to her, Carrie, we're in Venice. It doesn't matter. I'm with my best friend. We'll figure it out. But she just couldn't handle it, and she was like, fine, and she stormed off. So she got about 50 feet away from me and came back and goes, well, I just can't leave you here. Because in the end, Carrie always took care of me. Eventually, in silence, we worked our way back to where we needed to be, and as we crossed that final bridge and found our hostel, we bumped into Doug Williams. No surprise to anyone that on the other side of the world, Carrie knew somebody from home. It's incredibly rare to have a friend who's been there through every stage of life. Even when school years and life transitions pulled others apart, we stayed connected. We didn't see each other every day, but we always knew where to find each other. We wrote letters, talked on the phone, and as technology developed, we texted and FaceTimed. It's impossible for me to fathom that she will never call me again. Deep down, I think both of us knew one of us would speak at the other's celebration of life. I just never thought it would be so young. Our dads were both born in July. Our moms were both born in April. Carrie and I were both born in December. We each had 3 sisters, all similar in age. We always just kind of felt like fate. We were connected by something bigger than us. Brian, no doubt you are the love of her life. You were her soulmate, but something in the stars brought Carrie and I together nearly 50 years ago. And for that, I am truly blessed. I have a lifetime of memories and stories to tell and cherish them all. We all have our memories, our Carrie stories. Think about your stories. What are your favorite memories? What music makes you think of Carrie? Billy Idol, Stevie Nicks, Prince, Pink? When you hear them, dance a little harder, sing a little louder, and think of her. What did you eat together? Frozen pizza? Chocolate chip pancakes with Karo syrup? Sugary and sour candy? So in our 20s, we joined Weight Watchers together. And after all of our meetings, we would go eat and celebrate by eating cheese fries. I know many of us are struggling to understand how this could happen. Why did it happen? I've had my fair share of thoughts and conversations, trying to make sense of it. But the truth is, it doesn't really matter. Carrie is gone, and as hard as it is to accept, she died as she lived, on her own terms. Carrie left an imprint on each of us. She showed us how to live fully, how to love fiercely, and how to be true to ourselves. Brooke and Miles, she saw these qualities in each of you, and she admired you for knowing the people you wanted to be and pursuing your dreams. These are the things we must honor, even in our grief. This room is full of the people who are at Carrie's core. We are the ones who truly knew her, who helped her light shine brighter. We are the ones who held a special place in her heart. And of course, we are the ones who are feeling this loss most deeply. But here's the thing. We are also the ones who must carry her light forward. So fill your passport and make people laugh. Show compassion, take care of your friends, take care of your friends' friends. Call people, be kind, be funny, and go the extra mile. Be the kind of person she was. In the end, the world needs more people like Carrie. More warmth, her joy, her big-hearted love. Our friend Amy really said it best. Carrie loved me, and because of that, she loved everyone I loved. That's who she was. Her love knew no limits. It was instinctive, generous, and without judgment. So let's honor her by bringing that kind of love to the world. Be a Carrie.